from November the 16th, 2018 to February the 1st, 2019. The exhibition Volez, Voguez, Voyagez, Louis Vuitton welcomes visitors in Shanghai after it had been seen in Paris, Tokyo and Seoul. In 15 showrooms at the Shanghai Exhibition Center, we can discover the history and legends of the Louis Vuitton trunks and the brand's connections with China.
It represents France. It represents the French art de vivre. I think the world looks upon France to maintain certain civility, certain quality, and certain levels of service. And that's what we're going to be bringing to Shanghai.
At the entrance, we are welcomed by Yan Pei Ming's portrait of the young Louis Vuitton. It blends French Impressionism and Chinese ink painting styles. The first showroom is the trunk of 1906. The trunk can be seen advertised on an old poster and as a real exhibit. The hat and gloves are from the same period and are on loan from the Palais Galliera.
Palais Galliera has made a loan of about, for this exhibition precisely, of 80 pieces from our collection. And well, it illustrates, because there's a sort of a parallel development, how Louis Vuitton adapts to modernity and to the changing concept of traveling. Well, it happens at the same time in fashion. There's a transformation in fashion from the late 19th century precisely because of these profound changes.
The second room, Wood, showcases Louis Vuitton's knowledge of wood and the tools of a box maker. Louis Vuitton's hometown, Franche-Comté, was surrounded by forests, so he learned about wood from an early age. When he was 16, he arrived in Paris and started working as a box maker. In 1854, he founded the brand Louis Vuitton. In 1859, he opened a workshop in Arnières. It was at that time that he invented the flat-top trunks and established the brand's rules of custom-made trunk interiors. The third room, Classic Trunks, displays iconic trunks from different periods. The most historic trunk here belonged to Queen Marie Antoinette. On the top, in French, is written, Wardrobe of Madame the Dauphine, number 10.
À la cour de France, on voyageait beaucoup et donc on avait des malles qu'on changeait très souvent. Alors on dit que la jeune dauphine, quand elle est arrivée à Versailles, n'était pas encore très intéressée par la mode. Elle était jeune, elle venait d'Autriche et puis elle a découvert un univers tout à fait différent, l'univers de la cour de France, donc l'univers de la mode. Et après, quand elle est devenue reine, elle-même a été une sorte d'icône de la mode. Cette malle l'est accompagnée pendant très longtemps dans sa vie, à ses côtés, à Versailles, pour transporter ses vêtements, peut-être des dentelles, peut-être des sous-vêtements, des parures.
In 1854, Louis Vuitton introduced his grey Trianon canvas, which had several advantages over leather. In 1872, the striped canvas came in red and beige. The corners of the trunk were covered with leather, and the interior was covered with a soft fabric to protect the clothes. In 1888, the brand created the Damier canvas, a patented invention which saw the very first inscription of the L. Vuitton registered trademark. The famous monogram canvas was designed by Louis Vuitton's son, Georges Vuitton, in 1896. Flower patterns, geometric shapes, and the LV monogram, which is the family's signature emblem, all reflect the brand's pride and elegance. At the other end of the room, we can find more contemporary pieces. The studio in a trunk was designed by the brand and the artist Cindy Sherman in 2014. Its compartments have different colors and tags. The cocktail and cigar trunk in monogram Macassar canvas was made for the Chinese artist Ding Yi in 2018. The patterns look like snow falling on the canvas, as sparkling as the glasses in the trunk. The fourth room, Expeditions, is about 2 expeditions organized by André Citroën, the founder of the Citroën Company. The 1931 expedition, the Yellow Cruise, started in the Mediterranean and arrived in China, accompanied by Louis Vuitton trunks. The trunks were specially made to suit different climates and the explorers' daily needs. Unlike the deserts, the fifth room, the Rise of Yachting, offers an ocean view. We seem to find ourselves on the deck of a 20th century yacht. Even at sea, people in the old days would change their clothes according to the time of day. The Louis Vuitton steamer bag was created in 1901. The logo bears the colors of the French national flag. The bag can be used to keep laundry and can be folded and stored in a trunk.
I've tried to create in the travel section a slightly more filmic, dreamy situation where you can actually have the illusion that you're really traveling. In this case, because we have this very big sail, the whole room is leaning a little bit. You see on the floor how it's lower on this side and higher on this side. Behind me, we have the steamer bags. Now, we have the historical steamer bags here, which Vuitton invented for transport by boat and yacht. In every room, you will find new things together with the older things. But, of course, one has to remember that at the time, each one of these things was completely modern. I think that's also interesting in this exhibition, that we have this awareness of the modernity of the older pieces.
In the sixth room, we are driving on a highway. In the early days, some cars had no roofs, so fashionable passengers needed practical accessories like helmets, goggles, and gloves. And a flat Morocco leather bag helped them pack everything they needed. Depending on the car interiors, Louis Vuitton designed a variety of car trunks, which could be placed in different places in a car. The explorer Gabriel Bonvalot's driver bag was made of Vuittonite canvas. Tough and waterproof, it kept spare tires and might have accompanied the explorer to Tibet, China. In the seventh room, we step onto clouds. An airplane has taken us to the sky. In the early 20th century, many great aviators were regarded as heroes. Some of them were also regular customers of Louis Vuitton. In 1909, the first international air show took place at the Grand Palais. In 1909 and 1910, the twins Jean and Pierre Vuitton showcased their inventions, which were prototypes of helicopters and planes. In 1927, the twins' brother, Gaston Louis Vuitton, launched the brand's first perfume, Eau d'Absence, named after their father, Georges Vuitton's villa. On the perfume bottle, we can find a tiny aircraft. Its packaging was designed like a milestone. These objects give us a chance to discover the connections between different moments in history. In the 8th room, we are on board a 19th century train. It's like a hotel on rails. Fashionable passengers have plenty of room for their luggage. At that time, sleek and neat dresses gradually replaced hooped skirts and became a good choice for train journeys. As we walk through this room, a special aroma catches our attention. Gaston Louis Vuitton adopted an Art Deco style for his perfume bottle designs and created these bottles with noted artists, including Camille Claise-Brodier. Made with enamel, these designs highlight the bottles and suggest fun. They are exhibited alongside the brand's contemporary fragrances. Gaston Louis Vuitton was the grandson of Louis Vuitton. He developed a taste for art from an early age and collected hotel labels. He wrote once, "There are stamps of the means of transport, of the journeys, of the trips, all marked on old papers and hotel labels. Could they be attractive enough to make you want to collect them and maybe even set off on a journey yourself?" The 9th room, writing and music, takes us to a musician's studio. The guitar, batons, vinyl records, and music scores are flying in the air, as if the musician has just been inspired. The violin case in natural cowhide and the DJ box and monogram canvas keep the musician's valuable objects in a perfect condition. The famous Chinese stars Leslie Cheung, Teresa Tong, and Anna May Wong also have their own custom-made Louis Vuitton trunks. With a passion for literature, Gaston Louis Vuitton designed several library trunks, catering for anyone who loves reading and traveling. Classic novels are always good companions on a journey. And with these trunks, travelers need never worry that their treasured books might be damaged. In 2016, Louis Vuitton worked with the Chinese artist Xi Bing and created the square word calligraphy trunk. Combining Chinese calligraphy with the English alphabet, these square words were printed on the monogram canvas. Chinese calligraphy brushes and inkstones can be stored in the trunk. Echoing these square words, the monogram graffiti canvas also has a creative letter design. The 10th room, Sophisticated Dandies, shows the elegance of stylish gentlemen. The Roma-fitted suitcase belonged to the Hollywood star Douglas Fairbanks. Designed by Camille Claise-Brodier, the accessories fit in the compartments, ready to help the sophisticated traveler. A fine silk top hat is a nod to British society. This hat box and Vuittonite canvas belonged to the British actor John Moffat. The old labels on the box suggest the actor travelled a good deal. On the other side, classic Louis Vuitton trunks are displayed alongside the brand's modern designs. These clothes are from the 2019 Spring-Summer collection, designed by the brand's menswear artistic director, Virgil Abloh. This monogram canvas trunk belonged to the Chinese-American architect, Yeo Ming Bei. And this dressing box, in monogram satellite canvas, belonged to the brand ambassador, Chris Wu. Louis Vuitton's passion for aesthetics and craftsmanship has made it the first choice for its celebrity patrons.
It was important to show how it's not just a historical exhibition, so we're trying to show how the past has influenced the present in terms of what Louis Vuitton have designed and are making, and how the level of craftsmanship hasn't changed. It's an exhibition about motion, about travel, but for me it's also about emotion, and I've tried to create a situation where these objects are actually quite touching. It's through their beauty, through their practicality, through their desirability as well, and the fact that we dream of how people behaved in previous time and our lives today.
The next rooms reveal the brand's collections with art and include an interesting part of Gaston Louis Vuitton's collection. In the middle of the room, a trunk for storing paintings is on display, alongside a medical trunk designed by the British artist Damien Hirst in 2009. The painting trunk belonged to René Jean-Paul, a major French art dealer in the early 20th century. Perhaps he used to pack a Monet or a Picasso in this trunk. Damien Hirst's design, like many of his other works, explores the mythology between life and death. In 2016, Louis Vuitton worked with Wang de Chuan Tea House and created the Oolong Tea Box, blending Chinese tea culture with French know-how. Louis Vuitton also adopted patterns designed by Stephen Spouse and Yayoi Kusama, twisted shapes designed by Frank Gehry, the iconic color of Supreme, and even bags with holes and paintings by great artists. With its love for art, the brand turned great artworks into practical daily objects. The 14th room, Feminine Elegance, takes us to backstage Hollywood, where we can find dresses, beauty cases, and jewelry boxes that belong to legendary Hollywood stars like Greta Garbo, Katharine Hepburn, and Lauren Bacall. The Milano fitted suitcase has a sumptuous design, which is representative of the Art Deco style in the 1920s. It was displayed at the 1925 International Exhibition of Modern, Decorative and Industrial Arts in Paris. In 1997, Louis Vuitton started creating ready-to-wear collections. These dresses, designed at that time, have a very clear Chinese influence. Silk, satin, embroidery, and other Chinese elements perfectly merge with French elegance. The last room, Stars in Louis Vuitton, exhibits the brand's iconic evening dresses from 1998 till today. Some of them have been worn on red carpets by Chinese stars like Gong Li, Zhang Ziyi, and Karina Lau. Commissioned by Louis Vuitton Melletier, the Chinese artist, He An, designed two neon pieces, Desire and Is It Forever or Not, playing with Chinese characters. China is far from France, But over the past decades, it has been connected more and more to the Western world and has become an important source of inspiration for Louis Vuitton. The exhibition Voguez, Voyagez, Louis Vuitton unveils the brand's connections with this ancient country and showcases the history of traveling and exploring. Explorers explore and travelers travel. They both have dreams that can only be reached in faraway places. With their passions, they are the people who break boundaries and create an even better world.